Hey everyone, John here from the Embroidery Legacy, and we are doing another legacy reel where we're going back to athletic knit. I spent a lot of time here in my younger years. This is a company that was started by Bernard Sluin. It is, and I know was, the largest manufacturer of knitwear for the sports industry. They do all kinds of stuff from hockey to baseball to football. Anything with regards to sports, AK is the brand in North America that does it all. So come on in and we'll take a peek. Hey everyone, John here from the Embroidery Legacy, and I am honored to be at Athletic Knit with David and Daniel Sluin. And I just wanted to first off pay tribute to Bernard, your grandfather. Many years ago, probably 30 years ago, Bernard asked if I would come in and help him with his digitizing department at that point. And I think he was just getting into bringing in multi-needle machines, which I'm guessing you guys have a lot of now. Bernard was an incredible man. He always made me feel welcome and special. He kind of had that unique blend of wisdom and humor at the same time. So I always enjoyed my time with him, and you guys are, the next stage of the legacy. And just want to know if you wanted to chime in and let us know how you guys have transitioned into this and what changes you've seen.
Yeah, so since a young age, David and I have wanted to come here. Honestly, our grandfather used to take us on tours of the plant. Every time we came, he'd call them his dollar tours, and we'd come through the door, you'd get in there and you'd see this amazing place with hockey jerseys, sports jerseys, and David and I both love sports, and you'd walk through it, you'd see all the machinery, you'd see everything, and it was just amazing to see. It was amazing to watch. And basically since the age of 7, honestly, I asked my grandfather if we could come work here, and since that day, honestly, David and I have kind of been planning to come work here and follow in our grandfather's footsteps.
And where have you seen the biggest growth as far as decorative apparel? Obviously embroidery is kind of the same, but I know that there's been a big push for direct-to-garment printing, and you guys I know have a lot of sublimation and all that kind of stuff. So has that probably grown more than embroidery over the last while, or?
Yeah, I think with the different lines that we have, like if you've got a t-shirt, you're doing a lot of screen printing. If you're doing a hoodie, we have so many decoration options between the most economical being screen printing. You have heat transfer, you've got twill, you've got embroidery, you've got sub twill, you've got direct sublimation. So you have a lot of options. So there's certain products, like we just launched our sublimated tracksuits. So those go really direct to sublimation. In terms of if you're doing like a t-shirt or a polo that we're doing, it's more on those economical options, lighter weight. So you got a screen printer, you got a heat transfer. On the hoodies, you got a wide variety. From embroidery, which is where you would see that, where it can kind of handle that beefiness of the twill and stitching, but you also have screen printing, which is more economical and is a great look. So it really is a wide range. That canvas is really, we have an a la carte menu, and that's the way they want to decorate that canvas.
Now, do you think your grandfather kind of set that precedence? Because that's one thing I remember, even having tours, 25, 30 years ago, is he was always excited to show me what was new. That's something he always seemed to keep up with.
100%. I think the whole business, then I think we've learned this definitely more and more over the 15 years we've worked together, is you got to keep investing. So right now, for example, just this year, we've bought probably 24 heads more of embroidery that are coming. So 8 that are in it, 16 more that are coming, plus more one heads, plus more everything. And what we see is crazy. Like, we kind of joke sometimes how sublimation was the last greatest gift our grandfather ever gave us. So back probably 20 years ago now, he probably spent $1 million on 12 printers that printed at 3 meters an hour.
Yeah.
That let us start sublimation. So by the time we invested in a JP4, we already had the business. We knew it was going to work. Yeah. He had done all the hard work to get it set up. He had done all the hard work to set up the line and get it there. That now when we have 3 sublimation printers plus 3 Montes, it was done by him. Like the process started there, and all we've had to do is invest with the same type of machinery he did. Obviously a little higher investments because they're bigger machines, but the hard work started there. Now we're into laser cutting on sublimation. Embroidery, we found better ways to do it, and just in all different areas trying to really use technology and machinery to improve as best we can.
Anyways, I appreciate you taking the time. I'd love to see a tour, and we'll sort of pick up where your grandfather left off. I'm sure I'll be amazed.
We'd be happy to.
Awesome.
So this is our stock room. So as you can see, we carry over 20,000 SKUs in stock right now. So a SKU to us is basically one size of one color. we actually now have 2 stock rooms. So we've grown so much that now we have the front stock room, which is here, and we'll eventually show you the back stock room. Here is products that we carry in stock. So really any product here will sell blank. So to an embroiderer, a decorator, anyone that wants to, they can come in, buy it. We are also happy to decorate. So I'll show you the decoration facilities afterwards.
Awesome.
And we'll go through kind of all the embellishments that we can do and what we're doing new and how we're trying to be better at that. Really, anything in stock is supposed to be stock. It should ship kind of within 24, max 48 hours, like depending on the time of the day and how big the order is and where in the building it is. Sometimes things are harder to find than others.
And you know where everything is, right? Pretty much.
Listen, I'd love to say that we never miss a piece or a box, but like as you'll see when you go through the entire building, it's a big place.
Yep.
If one box gets put behind a different box by accident or gets moved, we'll find out eventually. But when someone's like, oh, how did you lose 20 pieces? I'm like, come through the building.
Take a look.
We can have a conversation. This is shipping. So all of our stuff kind of gets packaged here. The skids are for the US, and then everything else would be kind of for Canada or stuff that's just waiting to be shipped.
It's time to see the heart of the operation, the production floor.
So I always kind of like to stop right here. This is one of my favorite places to kind of give like an overview of the whole factory. So we knit over there. The kind of knitting is, we're kind of getting out of knitting probably by the end of the year.
Okay.
Then we go to cutting, sewing, finishing, then either finishing out the door, finishing the decoration, back to finishing out the door, and then sublimation's way at the back. Honestly, the machines are so big, and as we kept growing and growing, that's where my grandfather put it. We left it. In a perfect world, obviously, it'd be closer up, but we've learned to make it work. Like, you just can't change everything. So this is an offline sewing area, so smaller orders, small back orders, etc. One thing that's really cool about our back orders is that if it's a reasonable quantity or something that we should have, we'll make the back order.
Okay.
So all back orders get made within 15 business days, basically. Once in a while, we extend it. I would say most get done between 5 and 7 days. We kind of commit to 15 days just because we live in an Amazon world. Yeah. They want things yesterday.
They want things yesterday, and
This is really cool. This is an automated sewing line that my grandfather actually purchased. So it's probably been, this line is almost 50 years old.
Yes, I remember him showing me
this. Drops off the work to every individual person, and it still works really well. So this is where we're making a hockey sock. So it's kind of a cool process. We're actually kind of retrofitting them right now, unfortunately. Basically yarn, goes spinning, comes all the way down, and the hockey sock comes out. And it's kind of really cool. Obviously this used to be gigantic. This used to be running full speed all the time, overtime, everything. And now it's kind of a small part of the business. So this is our sublimation department. So this Monty, just about protective, this Monty is brand new. So we just bought this, so it's for the first time. But think of this crazy, like my grandfather bought these 2 Montys. This one had to be replaced, but bought 2 Montys 20 years ago. And to think how many pieces you can actually run is crazy. I think like he literally had these 2 machines for 20 years, probably operating at 5% of capacity, then 10%.
I'm pretty sure
20.
that would have been one of my last tours because I remember he had just gotten into this and he was excited to show me.
So this is now how we print sublimation. So in here, we print using JP Force. Humidity control, climate control. We've learned how to print paper in early or how we do it, especially when it's humid outside. There's lots of little tricks to make the quality better. But what's crazy is the initial machines my grandfather bought were 3 meters an hour. We now run 3 of these machines at 120 meters an hour all day, every day. Overtime, especially when we're busy. Like right now we're busy. These things will run 10 to 12 hours a day plus Saturdays right now.
Don't you wish you could see it now?
I do wish you could see it now. Honestly, every year there's always at least a few points, probably even a month, where you just think like, what would he think of this? Or how would he handle something? And how would he do things differently? And we still do this, so we're probably in the anomaly now to do this, where we actually transfer pieces. We've just been doing it forever. We've gotten pretty good at it. We're starting, I'm probably not doing this anymore. But because we do it, we have the really trained employees, it just adds capacity and it's just better. And then over here, we have now 2 machines that can be transferred roll to roll and running. And what it allows us to do is, transfer enough pieces every day that I'll show you where the lasers are later. And then we go there. As I said, in a perfect world, this would be like you'd go laser
or wherever,
or transfer laser.
After making the long way back from the sublimation room, we're now going to see their laser machines.
So here's kind of our lasers. So we actually have two different types of lasers here. So we have two Sumas, which we bought a long time ago, and now we have two kind of imported lasers that have kind of, and we actually have two more coming. So this whole area here, there's about to be two more. Again, just as sublimation keeps growing, and we want to get faster, you gotta have the machinery that can do it. And the nice thing about a laser is that anyone can kind of do it at any time, right? Like you can train someone relatively quickly to run a laser.
Next up is the embroidery department. Having spent years in embroidery myself, it's always cool to see how they bring designs to life with such precision.
Yeah, so one of the interesting things here is that we've actually kind of set up kind of almost like two groups, right? So we have 3 8-head Tajimas and 3 6-heads. So we've kind of mixed and matched them just to kind of balance production a little bit easier. And we'll do the embroidery here. We'll also kind of add the zigzag patches here. So depending on where we're at in the season, we kind of balance it the best way we can.
And as you said, that's where you're looking at the other machines, is for doing more of the zigzagging?
Yeah, so over here we have one of the 8 heads. And as we kind of talked about, there's challenges, but you can definitely add, so we've actually just changed it to go flat rather than hoop. You can just add things quickly. And for a simple zigzag or even like a little simple embroidery, but not a full patch, as of now it's great. We haven't really tested the full embroidery, so I can't say it can't do it, but we have found the specialization in simpler designs has been good enough. This is our screen printing department. Here we do a lot of manual, I would say. We have one automatic, but we do a lot of smaller orders and numbers.
And have you seen the screen printing stay consistent throughout the years? Or
to be honest, I think we've done a good job. So our screen printing business is growing.
Okay. Good.
I think it's because we decorate more of the stuff rather than send it out to someone else now, or some of our decorators do it. It will be interesting over the next kind of 5 years to see DTF. It does seem like it's going to take over screen printing. So I was telling you how now we kind of do some perma-twill and perma-twill logos and perma-twill numbers. So here's a good example where now we have all these presses, and this is the advantage of perma-twill for sewing or embroidery. You can hire someone and get on it, and it just looks clean. So obviously embroidery is beautiful, embroidery press is beautiful, but finding the balance between what can be done as pressed on and what can be done as sewn on, I think is going to be an interesting thing to watch what the market does over the next 10 years. So here's our tackle jewel department. This is where we put numbers, names, sublimated logos, some embroidered logos, depending what it is. So basic pressers, sewer, and again, you'll see another 2-head embroidery machines. Kind of like I said before, finding places wherever we can to kind of run different areas that we do and trying to make it as efficient as possible. So this is actually an awesome machine. This is one of the Brother AI machines. It's amazing what you can now do with a name bar. Unfortunately, Brother decided to stop making this for some reason.
Okay. So they're like gold, right?
Yeah, so we're done at 3. I try to get one here or there, but...
With the factory tour all wrapped up, we're heading inside the office to see the other side of how everything comes together.
This is our sales and customer service department. And this is our graphic design department.
How many graphic artists do you have?
We have 14 right now. They come in on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I think it's 14 or 15 right now. Wow. Right now we use it for training. Like this is kind of our boardroom. 4 to 5 weeks it'll be used for training, and then they'll go out there and figure it all out.
Thank you very much, gentlemen, for your time and the wonderful tour. And again, your grandfather was an incredible man. I can see you guys are just continuing on with the legacy that he started, and the next generation. I'm sure you guys are working on that as well.
Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for the time and for showcasing NK.
Appreciate it. Thanks. Thanks for joining us on this behind-the-scenes look at Athletic Knit. It's inspiring to see how a family's legacy continues to thrive, blending tradition with innovation. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more legacy reels and insights into the world of embroidery. And I look forward to seeing you next time.